Hey everyone, it's TJ, and we are back with yet another episode of the Princes of Parma. As you can see, we are getting ready for our Europa League game. This is the first leg of the second round. We are playing Lask Linz from Austria. Definitely got a really kind draw when you look at some of the teams that are still involved. Obviously, my team, Everton, Chelsea, Arsenal, Lazio, Athletic Bilbao, Porto, Leipzig, etc. What was really interesting was actually the first knockout round. So obviously, as I discussed, there was Barcelona. They got knocked out by Anderlecht. Juventus just about scraped through against Gladbach. Atletico Bilbao knocked out Napoli. Who else? I'm sure there's something else. In fact, there was another giant killing in there somewhere. Strasbourg knocked out AC Milan. We got through against Lask, which is a very favourable draw for us, really. Really good chance of getting through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. As it stands, looks like Leipzig are going through. Porto, Lille. Lille got the 0-0 away from home. Everton got 2 away goals. Atletico Bilbao versus Lazio. That's really open, to be honest with you. Obviously, we'd expect Chelsea to go through. Ordinarily, I would say Arsenal, but Anderlecht knocking out Barcelona, beating them 2-1 away from home is massive. And Juve were far from convincing. A couple of updates transfer-wise, quite a bit, let's be honest. Some of the minor transfers. Fauzi Gulam is coming in on a free transfer from Napoli. He's a left back. I'm not going to lie, I kind of saw the 18 long throws and was instantly kind of like, ooh, that could be nice. Because I love my set pieces. Honestly, the number of goals that we have scored as a team from set pieces is crazy. And if I can add long throws to that bowstring, I'll be more than happy. He was on a free. His contract was expiring from Napoli. And I figured he's a good backup option for Pizzella because Zacharitis still isn't quite at the standard I'd want him to be yet. A couple of youngsters coming in. We've got Berkay Nizam coming in from, I think it's from Fenerbahce. 16-year-old winger. He's quick. Moderately determined. Good flair. Good crossing. He's only 16. He has easily got the potential. I mean, 4.5 stars. 4 stars minimum. If he can develop even remotely, in line with his potential, he is someone we can easily sell on for a decent profit. And we've just offered this Besiktas keeper a contract as well. I'm particularly looking at the 15 reflexes and the 13 handling. Also, he is 16. Even if that ends up only being a 2.5 to 3 star potential, we'll still be able to sell him on for some sort of profit. Now, we did secure a rather large, significant transfer. This man, Esposito. So we bought him. We plumped for it. We got him for 6.75 million. I think that was all inclusive as well. I don't even think that included add-ons. There was a game. Where was it? It was against. Yeah, this will kind of encompass 2 points. So I left you after the 1-0 against Verona. Believe it or not, we did actually beat Lazio 2-1. Then we hammered Salernitana in the Cup 6-1. Then we beat Kiev Verona in the league 5-0. And this was the game. This was the one which kind of made me think, you know what? We just got to sign him. Esposito was playing as an inside forward left wing because of injuries. And he bagged a hat-trick in the first half. Bagged a hat-trick within, 24 minutes. After that, I was like, got to get him in. Our biggest problem last season, for those of you who remember, was actually goals. Our top scorers were Xerxes and I think maybe Inglesi or maybe even someone else on 7 goals. Esposito, for this season, as you can see, in 24 appearances is on 14 goals. 16 if you include other competitions. So 19 in all comps. In 24 appearances, he's got 90 games. It's a bit confusing because obviously he was initially on loan and then he signed for us permanently. So it was a no-brainer. Ryan Gould's been really good. El Shaarawy's just become really solid. Sistana, surprisingly, again, benefiting from set pieces. If you've watched the Princess of Parma schools of set pieces, you'll know how important I see set pieces. He's got, I think, about four goals this season. All of them have been from set pieces. This goal that I'm going to show you now from Ryan Gould shows the importance, everyone, of hammering, making sure you get your defensive set pieces nailed down. Like, cannot stress it enough. It's worth putting the time in. So here we are, playing Cagliari. Anyone Italian, feel free to correct my pronunciation. They get a free kick. As you can see, I've got 3 men at the bottom here on the halfway line against their 2 defenders. I know full well that my defenders are good enough to win that ball. Petty wins it, comes to Nonto, who is rapid, 17 pace, breaks 3v2, squares it to Gould, first time finish, bottom corner. That is what comes from giving your players set positions on defensive set pieces. If you just let the default happen and just let your assistant manager pick it or whatever, that's what happens. That's what not happens. If you invest the time, and as I said to you in the school set pieces video, 30 minutes to an hour over the course of a whole season. 30 minutes at the start, 30 minutes midway through, because inevitably the AI will realise what you're doing and will try and adapt to it. One thing we have done, though, is we have hammered the short set pieces. Here we have another short corner, this time against Torino. So Tonali is taking the corner, plays it to El Shaarawy, cuts inside, plays it to Gould, makes the run, gets the ball back. Lovely ball. Dennis Mann with the header. Just do your corners. Do your set pieces. The Coppa Italia, so this is something I'll touch on in a minute. We did get knocked out. So we played in the first round was the 6-1 against Salernitana. Now, as you can see, Arezzo actually got a hat-trick in that game. Van der Ven, he scored. That was a set-piece goal. We were debatably unlucky to get knocked out by Atalanta. Don't get me wrong, we didn't play well. As you can see, our shots, our XG was better than Atalanta's, but that was only because Esposito missed a penalty. Obviously, XG is based on the quality of the chance, not necessarily the volume of chances you have. So obviously a penalty is considered a really, really high quality opportunity. Esposito missed this penalty. He wasn't saved. He just hit it wide. It was the sort of game where I knew, looking at it, I was like, we're really struggling to create anything here. We are going to have to rely on set pieces. 86th minute, throw-in comes in, Serrano gets tackled, wins the penalty. I'm thinking, great, yeah. Esposito's the taker. He just scored a hat-trick in his last game. Excellent. He hits it wide. Far from ideal, admittedly. Especially when you think that Atalanta then in the semi-final played Sassuolo and they got knocked out. We had obviously beaten Sassuolo 4-0 earlier on this season, so I really would have fancied our chances of getting past them in the semis. And the final is Juve v Sassuolo. So even though, we've beaten Juve this season, I'm under no illusions. That would have been a really, really hard game in that final. Really, really hard game. But getting to the final of the Coppa Italia would have been massive. Absolutely massive. On to more important matters. So, we've got the teams. Might look on paper a little bit of a second team in some ways. You see Colombi, he doesn't play for us normally. Petty and Sistana, again, you could argue ordinarily it would probably be Ahmed Hozic and Valenti. Zagaritis is in because Pizzella has torn his hamstring. Nonto is playing in behind Esposito as a shadow striker. We're giving Gaul the rest. Same with Bentaleb. He has come in for Tonali. And Brugman has come in for Capaldo. Serrano has come in for Dennis Mann. I wouldn't say I'm disrespectful and sort of underestimating Linz, but I know that this team should be good enough. And I want to keep some of these players fresher for the game at the weekend against Roma. So here we go. First leg of the second round of the Europa League. We are away. Any sort of positive result here will do. I have identified a few areas for improvement for next season, and to be honest with you, it's predominantly on the wings. Serrano, I appreciate, is probably a very good option going forward, but right now he just don't think he's ready to lead the line on that right hand side. So I'll be looking to try and bring someone in to sort of supplement that right side of the attack. Because Dennis Mann, he's actually been really good recently, but I find him very inconsistent. He will go from, scoring 2 goals in one game, and then for the next 3 games, he'll get like a 6.1 rating. And I just can't afford to carry that sort of player, when I want to sustain like a Champions League challenge or something like that. Weirdly enough, since I actually permanently signed Esposito, his form dropped off. I think it's just coincidence, but... And there's the first goal, onside, away goal, perfect. El Shaarawy, set up by Nonto. I'll have that after 14 minutes. Lovely counter-attack. Perfectly timed pass. El Shaarawy in, near post. Lovely. That'll do. That'll do me perfectly. Oh, and there's yet another set-piece goal, this time a far post corner. Brugman all the way around to the back post to Papetti, and he hammers it in. Set pieces, guys. Set pieces. Love it. 2-0. And you could argue that is the tie dead already. Even if we somehow lose this game 3-2, we are unlikely to lose at home. It's fine, let him have a shot. Give Colombia something to do. And there's 3-0. El Shaarawy onto Esposito. Ooh, nearly another set-piece goal from the corners there for Sistana. Unlucky Serrano. It's worth a try. I'll give him that. Hopefully in a season or 2, once he's developed a little bit more, they'll be just flying in. If you don't hit it out to the right back, thank you. Nonto, that was unlucky, but you really, really probably should have done a little bit better with that. Talk about domination. 3-0, it's not even our time yet. It could have easily been 4. El Shaarawy, he has well been worth the 12.5 million. To be honest with you, if he did nothing else but score those 2 goals against Juventus, I would still say he was worth the 12.5 million that it cost us to bring him in from Roma. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we beat Juventus 2-1, which for us was a massive result, especially when you factor into the fact that it was away from home. It was in Turin and we won. We went 1-0 down and we beat them 2-1, thanks to 2 goals from El Shaarawy. The first one was a absolute beautiful goal. Yeah. For us as Parma, when Juventus are arguably one of our rivals, even though competitive-wise, currently we're not rivals. Historically, they are seen as quite a big rival for us. So to beat them 2-1 at home was massive. Few changes. Ballo's coming on. He's coming on for Sistana, because Sistana was booked, I believe. Yeah. And we've got Arezzo coming on for Esposito. Again, just keeping players fresh. Nonto's shot is blocked by his own player. Fair enough. I mean, I think it's fair to say we'll be going through into the quarterfinals. So our next game will be the quarterfinal. As in, the next game on series will be the quarterfinal. Most likely it will be the second leg because there'll probably be more riding on that. 4-0, that's offside though. Yeah, that was well offside. Yeah, it'll be the second leg. We'll see who that's against. That episode will get recorded this weekend and I will aim to get it out for you probably by the beginning of next week. If I can, the end of, it'll be on Sunday. He's actually onside. He was actually onside. That was VAR just absolutely rinsing me there. He was onside. If you go back a few seconds and watch that, pause it when the lines come out, he is onside. The left back is clearly playing him on. Livid. Absolutely livid. Never mind. 3-0 away from home. It's unlikely to make a significant difference. And Arezzo gets a goal, and that really does put the game to bed. It's weird to think that Arezzo has arguably been inconsistent, patchy. Yeah, that was his 10th goal this season. Fair enough. I mean, it's a great pass again from Nonto. That's another assist in this game. And checking the offside. See, he is onside. Now Serrano was similar level of tightness and he was classed as offside. So, go figure. But 4-0 ties over, let's be honest. And there's the final whistle. I mean, I think it's safe to assume that we're going through. However, Juventus losing 1-0 at home to Sociedad, potentially not going through. Chelsea, yeah. Everton, didn't actually properly look at that before. Talk about FMing. 2 goals in injury time. Fair play, Blue Boys. Arsenal beating Anderlecht. Realistically, we've got to be looking to avoid the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, maybe Leipzig in the next round. Atletico, Bilbao and Lazio is open. Porto, Lille, completely open. Wouldn't rule out Juventus just yet. Quarterfinal should be interesting. The draw, I will be paying very, very close attention to the draw. the board just want us to be competitive in this competition, but, you know, we touched on it in the very, very first episode. Parma won back then, what was the UEFA Cup? We want to emulate that. If we can win the Europa League, fantastic. It'll also get us in the Champions League, which would be incredible. So yeah, let's see what happens. But I will see you back in a couple of weeks when it'll be the quarterfinal round. Because let's face it, we're not throwing away a 4-0 lead against Linz. So I shall see you then. In the meantime, drop a like, subscribe, click that notification button so that you are ready to watch Parma going into the quarterfinals of the Europa League. We'll just have to see who it's against.